welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something really important for, anyone with Apple devices.
Yeah, specifically iOS 18.5 and iPadOS 18.5.
Exactly. They dropped on May 12th, 2025. And our aim today is to really unpack the key security upgrades here.
What they actually mean for you day to day.
Right. And how they help keep your information safe. Now, speaking of keeping things secure, this deep dive is supported by Stonefly.
Ah, Stonefly. Leaders in enterprise storage, backup, DIR.
AI storage, cloud solutions, the works. And if you're thinking about truly secure, ransomware-proof storage, well, they offer air-gapped and immutable options.
Which are critical these days.
Absolutely. So if you want a demo, just email sales@stonefly.com. Okay, let's get into these updates. Over 30 vulnerabilities patched.
That's right, over 30. And this isn't just, minor stuff. We're talking about quite critical vulnerabilities.
Critical how?
Well, think about this. Some of these could let attackers run malicious code, basically take control or steal your data.
Just by me doing what?
Just by opening a rigged image, maybe a video file, or even just visiting a compromised website. Apple specifically warned about code execution bugs triggered by bad media files.
Okay, that's definitely concerning. So opening a picture could be risky. Let's break that down. What specific areas are we talking about? Those media file issues sound nasty.
They really can be. A big chunk of the fixes target how your iPhone or iPad handles media. Components like Apple JPEG, Core Media, Image.io.
Right, the stuff that processes photos and videos.
Exactly. And vulnerabilities there mean a specially crafted file, one that looks normal, could cause all sorts of problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Well, unexpected app crashes, for one, but worse, potentially corrupting the device's memory, denial of service, which could make your device freeze up.
Probably usable, yeah.
And the big one, disclosing your personal information.
Okay, wow. So how did they actually fix these? What did they do?
It often comes down to better input checks. For Apple JPEG, for instance, they improved input sanitization.
Sanitization, like cleaning the data.
Sort of, yeah. Making sure the data being processed is what it's supposed to be and nothing malicious hidden inside. Same for Core Media with video files.
Okay.
There was also a specific use after free bug in Core Media. That's a type of memory management error that attackers love that needed better memory handling.
Right. Memory errors are always tricky.
Definitely. And Image.io had a logic issue fix that could lead to denial of service addressed with, again, improved checks. We even have the technical codes, the CVEs, like CVE 2025-31251 for Apple JPEG, if you really want the nitty-gritty.
Good to know they exist. So it's like better security guards checking everything coming in. What about just browsing the web? That feels like another big danger zone.
It absolutely is. And WebKit, the engine behind Safari and other web viewing apps, got a lot of attention in these updates.
Good. What kind of flaws were there?
Several issues that could lead to memory corruption again.
That sounds bad.
It is. It can potentially allow code execution. Others could just cause Safari or other apps to crash, which is annoying but less severe. Still not great, though. What were the fixes there? More checks.
Pretty much. Improved memory handling was a big one. Better input validation, checking the data from websites. Also, better management of internal states, how the browser keeps track of things.
Yeah.
And just generally more robust checks all around. We saw fixes for specific CVEs like CVE 2025-31223, and English 24223 for memory corruption, and others like Next 31277 for Safari crashes.
Okay.
Oh, and importantly, there was CVE 2025-31205. That fix addressed way a malicious site might have been able to secretly send your data off somewhere else.
Data exfiltration. Yeah, that's definitely something you want stopped.
Absolutely.
Seems like they really bolstered web security. Okay, moving on from media and web, I saw notes about networking fixes too. Baseband, Bluetooth.
Yes, and the baseband one is quite interesting. It's CVE 2025-3124113, and it affects the iPhone 16.
The new one.
Right. And this is actually the first security update for Apple's own C1 modem.
Ah, okay. So what was the risk? Potential interception of network traffic. But the attacker would need a privileged position on the network, like within the carrier's infrastructure.
So not easy, but possible.
Correct. And it was fixed with improved state management within the modem itself.
Good to see them patching their own silicon quickly. What about Bluetooth?
Core Bluetooth had CVE 2025-312. An app could potentially access sensitive user data it shouldn't have.
Oof.
Also fixed with improved state management. And then there was MDNS responder that's related to network service discovery, like AirPlay.
Right.
It had a privilege escalation bug, CVE 2025-31222. Basically a way for something to get more system permissions than it should have, fixed with better checks.
So deeper system stuff getting catched, too. It really seems like a wide-ranging update.
Yeah.
Did communication apps like, say, FaceTime or Mail get any love?
They did. FaceTime had a slightly awkward one, CVE 2025-31253, related to the mute button.
What? Like, it didn't actually mute.
There was a risk your audio might not have been fully silenced when you hit mute, fixed with, you guessed it, improved state management.
Okay, that's good. It's fixed. Embarrassing potential there.
Definitely. FaceTime also had a denial of service risk, CVE 2025-3122, when processing certain web content, fixed with UI improvements.
And Mail.
Mail addressing had an issue, CVE 2025-24225. It was an injection vulnerability.
Meaning?
It could allow someone to spoof the sender's address in the user interface, making an email look like it came from someone trustworthy when it didn't.
Perfect for phishing scams. That's a really important fix.
Very important. Addressed with improved input validation.
Okay, so communication is tighter. What about just general privacy and data handling? That's always top of mind.
Absolutely. Several fixes there. Call history had CVE 2025-31225. If you deleted an app, its call history might still pop up in Spotlight search.
Not ideal.
No. So they fixed it to make sure that sensitive data gets properly removed.
Good. What else?
A critical one in iCloud document sharing, CVE 2025-30448. It could potentially allow unauthorized activation of folder sharing, fixed with extra entitlement checks.
So making sure only the right person can share stuff. Makes sense.
Exactly. And the Notes app had two, CVE 2025-312228 and NAGS 31227. These were about physical access.
Someone having your unlocked phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Potentially allowing them to view locked notes or even deleted call recordings. Those were addressed with better authentication and checks.
Physical access is always a worry, so locking down notes like that is good. Man, they really went through a lot of different areas, even the core system stuff. Kernel.
That's right. They mentioned kernel hardening against memory corruption, sort of an ongoing battle. And a fix for libexpat, CVE 2024-8176. That's a library using tons of software, so that fix is quite broad.
Okay.
Frontboard, which handles the home screen and app switching, had a logic issue, CVE 2025-3100207. An app could possibly list other installed apps.
Like snooping on what else I use.
Kinda, yeah. Fixed with better checks. There was also a ProRes video codec issue causing crashes and an integer overflow in the main security component.
Whoa, in the security component itself.
Yep. CVE 2025-31221 could potentially lead to remote memory leakage, fixed with improved input validation.
It really is comprehensive. Okay, so for everyone listening, which specific iPhones and iPads get these updates?
For iOS 18.5, it's iPhone XS and any newer model, right up to the iPhone 16.
Got it. And iPads.
iPadOS 18.5 covers a lot. iPad Pro 13-inch, the 12.9-inch Pro from 3rd Gen on, 11-inch Pro from 1st Gen on, iPad Air from 3rd Gen, the regular iPad from 7th Gen, and iPad Mini from 5th Gen onwards.
So a very wide range of recent-ish devices. That's good coverage.
It is.
And it wasn't just phones and tablets, was it? Other Apple stuff got updated, too.
Correct. They also pushed updates for macOS Sequoia, Sonoma, Ventura, plus watchOS, tvOS, and even visionOS.
Right, so check all your Apple gear, basically.
Definitely a good idea.
Now, the big question with all these fixes, were any of these bugs actually being used by hackers out in the wild before the patch?
That's always the worry, isn't it? Fortunately, Apple hasn't indicated that any of these specific vulnerabilities patched in 18.5 were being actively exploited.
Okay, that's a relief. But still.
But it doesn't make updating any less critical. You always want to patch these holes before someone figures out how to use them widely. Proactive is key.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So the main message here seems pretty straightforward, wouldn't you say?
Extremely straightforward. Update your devices. Now, seriously.
Yeah, don't put it off.
These updates pack essential protections against a whole spectrum of threats we've just talked about. Media files, web browsing, networking, privacy leaks. Updating is the single best step you can take.
It really is. Keeping things updated is fundamental digital hygiene, maybe more so now than ever. With over 30 security fixes, this update clearly shows Apple's working hard behind the scenes. So what's the final thought for you? Just update. Protect yourself. Think about how linked your software security is to your actual personal data. Making updates routine is just smart.
It's essential self-defense online.
Well said. Thanks, everyone, for taking this deep dive with us into these really important security updates. And a huge thank you again to our sponsor, Stonefly.
Right, Stonefly. Experts in enterprise storage, backup, disaster recovery.
Plus, AI storage and cloud solutions. And remember, if you need truly robust ransomware-proof storage, they've got those air-gapped and immutable options.
Definitely worth checking out.
For sure. Reach out to their team for a demo at sales@stonefly.com. Until our next deep dive.